they will see this better. I mean, they will be pleased to see this more than this. And sometimes these small differentiations and picky things can be what differentiates you from the crowd. Look at it. We are undergrads. When we apply to jobs, most likely our experiences will not be that far. So we will be equally experienced, and they will look at each of these things. And these things are hard to notice on screen. So make sure to print out your cover letter and see it, feel it, touch it, even hug it if you want.
So one way that you can format the heading of your cover letter, and this is the way that I formatted mine for the internship I recently applied to, is the same as you would format your resume. So a lot of times when you are submitting a cover letter, you usually are submitting that resume as well. So it's one way to keep the formatting really clean and the same throughout, so that when they see it, they instantly know who it belongs to. It's easy for them to keep both the documents together and refer to both. And you can easily identify, again, their information as to how to contact them. So it makes it very simple for the reviewers to see them. And again, it keeps it consistent throughout. So if you have that heading from your resume, you can just copy and paste it onto your cover letter. And then in the bottom section, I would again include your email and your phone number, but I wouldn't include a written address in the bottom section when you're asking them to follow up and continue the process. But it does, you can see it does look nice and clean to have both. And if they have them both printed out as they're scanning through things, it shows up strong in the front. Just like when you're holding it up and you can see someone's signature, it shows up like right away. Having that heading, again, does the same thing and helps you stand out from the competition. So if you do include your information like you would from your resume on your cover letter, you don't need to include your personal address because it will probably have already been included. However, if you don't use the formatting from your resume, which is another option, completely fine, you would include your personal address at the very top, and then followed by the date that you've written the cover letter. And then this information is who you're writing it to. So you'll write the person's name, their position title, and then the address of the company. It's really important to do the research to figure out who will be reading your cover letter. It definitely makes it more personal, like having that signature can make it more personal. They're gonna enjoy seeing their name on that rather than dear hiring manager. They're gonna like to see Ray White. They're gonna like to see it addressed to them. If you cannot find the information, it is okay to write dear hiring manager or dear sir or madam or to whom it may concern. One of those things, as long as it's professional and doesn't specifically identify someone if you aren't sure. However, using LinkedIn, the company's website, or even asking through email if you have a contact within the company, it does again set you apart from the competition to be able to have someone specifically that you're identifying it to. And then you'll say dear, title, and weight. And if they are a doctor, again, the same kind of thing, it definitely shows them that you did the research and took the time to figure it out to address them properly when you're addressing them.
So just the last few common cover letter mistakes. Everything on here we've kind of touched on already. So the cover letter should be one page. It should even be, with spacing, the actual content isn't going to take up a whole page, right? But as Musab said, make it look good, all fit on one page with equal spacing. The qualifications of the job posting are very important, specific. The PDF is very important. So for those of you who aren't familiar with like technology, I think most millennials know this by now, but just in case, a PDF more or less just takes a picture of your Word document and keeps it looking that way, and it uses less storage than a picture. So it's like the favorite thing to use when you're sending resumes and cover letters and things, because how it looks on your computer is definitely how it's going to look when they get it. If you use a Word document, as Musab said, the spacing could be different, especially even just between Macs and Windows computers. It will change. So definitely always convert it to a PDF. But then also save it, or save it as a document, because you may want to go back and make edits to it. Send it as a PDF, but do keep a copy of the Word document on your computer as well. That's happened to me a few times where I was really wanting to use even my resume too from like last year, and I only had the PDF of it, and I was like, oh, I can't make changes, and you have to find a converter, which NC State does have on their computers, if you ever do need to convert a PDF to a Word document in the libraries. And again, have somebody look it over, make sure you don't have any grammar, spelling errors. The CDC, Sarah Lane, she works in the CDC, you can come in, walk-in hours 11 to 2 now? Yeah. I was studying abroad last semester, so I didn't know if they changed. 11 to 2 are walk-in hours. You can come in and they'll read it over and look at, give you advice on lots of different things, but especially the grammar and spelling is something you definitely need somebody to look at it before you send it out. Do we have any questions? What questions do y'all have? Ooh. So we're that good, or is it that confusing? You can be honest. That's good. So we have one last activity, and we're kind of short on time, so I'm going to only give you all 2 minutes to just look at the third. It'll be on the back of on the back of Clark Kent's cover letter. Just on your own, take the pen and go through, mark anything that you think is wrong with the cover letter and what you want to change. Again, this can be really fast. Okay, take about 30 more seconds. I apologize. I know we wanted to spend a little more time on this, but I am committed that you all get to leave here on time. So 30 more seconds. Okay, we're just gonna have 2 people share something that they changed. Anybody volunteer?
It says Dear Mr. Jones, but it's Miss Barbara Jones.
Okay, so that was a great point. He said it said Dear Mr. when it was really Miss. So taking, again, the time to make sure you're not making those simple mistakes. And if you are revising a cover letter you've previously written, make sure you do look at those specifics. Make sure you do change the date. You're changing who it's written to. And I would assume, depending on what position you're applying for, those experiences would probably change. But again, if you're taking the general formatting from one, make sure you do look at those small little adjustments that will definitely set you apart as looking like you didn't spend the time on it, or even just irritating the person who's reading it. That was a great point. Does anyone else have one more point?
Yes.
So the last statement was consider me seriously despite my different background. So instead of spinning it like it's a bad thing, should have definitely used that as if it was an advantage, because it kind of is. I mean, it sounds like she's checking. So I didn't change it word for word, but.
Right. No, that's fine. Yeah. It is a good point. And sometimes, especially as college students, we can be really hard on ourselves. So don't make a mistake like that. The employer would be very lucky to have you, right? So are there any final questions that you all have? Okay, well, thank you very much for participating. Please do fill out the survey on your phones. This is my first time doing this.
Yeah, so you can just pull your phones out or a laptop, anywhere that has internet connection, and you'll just type in this address here, the tiny URL, and then we have the presentation name covering cover letters, and our names, the presenters, Emily, Musab, and Jules, or Juliana. And just take the time to kind of fill it out. It should only take a few minutes, but it really does help us become better and make sure that our presentations are helpful and relevant for you all and help us kind of improve in the future. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. And by the way, we love you too, and we
Yes.
want you to join our program, the Great Ambassador Program. It's a great program where you get to hone your public speaking skills, your leadership skills, and communication skills, which are all necessary to be a successful candidate to any job, really.
So feel free to come talk to us if you have any final questions, need clarification on anything, or want to learn more about the Career Ambassador Program, or get